Good morning, children. Today we are going to start the new chapter of Flamingo book, that is Indigo. It has been written by Fischer. He has taken this excerpt from the book written on Mahatma Gandhi, that is Life on Mahatma Gandhi. And once when the author went to Gandhiji's ashram to meet him, at that time Gandhiji told him that how he felt desire to throw Britishers out of his country. In 1916, he was attending the meeting in Lucknow of Indian National Congress Party, and 2,301 delegates were there. At the same time, one farmer, that is peasant, came to meet Gandhiji, and he wanted Gandhiji to take with him to Champaran so as to get justice against big planters. He was illiterate, but he was determined. And wherever Gandhiji was going to do his work, he was chasing him. First of all, Gandhiji went to Kanpur. Then he went to his ashram in Ahmedabad, and Rajkumar Shukla was following him everywhere. Seeing the tenacity of Rajkumar Shukla, he gave him word that on such and such date he would be there in Calcutta. So then he would go with him to Champaran. Rajkumar Shukla, he was waiting for Gandhiji, and when Gandhiji finished his work, then they both boarded the train to Patna. There they went to the house of Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad, he was the first president of Free India. The servants of Rajendra Prasad did not treat properly to the Rajkumar Shukla as well as Gandhiji, because they thought that he might be some poor farmer. Not only this, even they did not allow them to draw water from the well, because they thought if suppose one or two drops will fall into the well, then it would pollute the whole source. One more issue came in front of Gandhiji over there. That was the issue of untouchability. Then Gandhiji went to Muzaffarpur. Muzaffarpur is the district in Bihar. So he went there so as to get more information from there. But when he went over there, Muzaffarpur, J.B. Kriplani, the professor in Arts College, he came to receive him, and he stayed at the home of Professor Malkani. And it was sad that in those days it was really an extraordinary thing that any government teacher or any government person was giving shelter to the advocate of home rule. Gandhiji told this thing later on. And people from all over started coming to see their champion, as they came to know that some Bapu had come to help them against the sharecropping. And people came over there to see Gandhiji. And what is sharecropping, or who sharecroppers were? Sharecroppers were the peasants, and they used to cultivate the land. Actually, it was under the big planters, and this was decided that it was under the long-term contract that 15% indigo they had to cultivate, and it was all given to the big planters as a rent. It was the sharecropping arrangement. But later on, synthetic indigo came in Germany, and now big planters, they didn't want sharecropping, indigo as a rent. They wanted now money as a tax. So some of the illiterate peasants, they gave money, but some of the peasants denied. So at that time, even the big planters, they hired thugs and thieves so as to take money from the illiterate peasants. Later on, when even the illiterate peasants who were unknown about the synthetic indigo, they came to know that synthetic indigo has been developed in Germany. That's why they now wanted money as rent. So they also wanted their money back. This was the problem, because of which Gandhiji went to Champaran. Many times question come based on this only. Okay, then he went to Muzaffarpur. I told you Motihari. After Muzaffarpur, he went to Motihari, and first of all he met British official commissioner over there, and British official commissioner told him that he would not give any information to the outside. Then he called British official commissioner. Okay, first of all he met the secretary of British Landlord Association. Later on he called British official commissioner, and he also bullied Gandhiji. But Gandhiji was determined. He wanted to help the people over there. So he proceeded to Motihari. It was in Muzaffarnagar where he was denied help. I think I told Motihari, but no. Then he proceeded to Motihari. And in Motihari, he set up his headquarters. And there he came to know one peasant was tortured over there. He wanted to help him. So in the morning, he sat on the elephant and started towards his home. On the way, the police superintendent overtook him, and the messenger of police superintendent gave him notice that he had to quit Champaran or Motihari. He denied and wrote that he disobeyed the order. Then someone came from the court. At that night, Gandhiji didn't sleep. He wrote a telegraph to Rajendra Prasad and even gave instructions to Ashram and gave the full report to Viceroy even. Next day in the morning, thousands of peasants were there around the court so as to support Gandhiji. Gandhiji, he was having a great support, and even the British officials failed to regulate the crowd. Then they took the help of Gandhiji. Even the prosecutor lawyer requested judge to postpone the trial. But Gandhiji denied because he did not want to set the bad example in front of the people by not obeying the law. Then he told that he was struck in conflict of duties. On the one side, he had been crime by not obeying the order of the law. On the second, he wanted to help the people, humanity. He wanted to do the service to the nation. So he was struck. And that is, he was listening to his voice of conscience. Conscience means to the voice of his soul. But he was provided bail for 2 hours. Not only bail, even he was liberated by the court. Then he met Rajendra Prasad, who had come with influential lawyers, and the name of the lawyers, they were Bej Kishore Babu and Maulana Mazrul Haq. They came to meet Gandhiji. Then Gandhiji put one question to them. Suppose if they would go to jail, if they would be sent to jail, then what they would do? Then senior lawyers told him that they had come to help him. If he would be sent to jail, then they would return back. But Rajendra Prasad, he motivated the lawyers that when Gandhiji, being totally stranger man was ready to help sharecroppers, then they themselves belong to the adjoining district only. It would be the shameful act. Then Rajendra Prasad, along with the lawyers, went to Gandhiji and told him that they were ready to help him. Gandhiji told at that time that the half of the Champaran movement he had won. Means not half but the total. Then even the case against him, it was dropped. He got the written communication from the magistrate that the case against him had been dropped by the lieutenant governor. Then the case was dropped and civil disobedience won for the first time. Not only this, then lieutenant governor, he called Gandhiji. Gandhiji was summoned in front of governor and Gandhiji made plans for civil disobedience. He appointed the commission, means the governor. He appointed the commission of big planters, British officers, and Gandhiji was the representatives from the peasant side. Big evidences were collected against the big planters, and then the representative of big planters wanted the demand of Gandhiji. Gandhiji demanded 50% return of the money, but they denied and told Gandhiji that they could return only 25%. But the Gandhiji accepted the same. Why? What was the reason that he accepted 25%? Because he said that it was the surrender of their prestige. It was the surrender of the prestige of big planters. For the first time, peasants or the farmers, they came to know that they too had defenders. Then what happened? All the land which was captured by the big planters, it was returned to the peasants and sharecroppers, and in this way indigo sharecropping disappeared totally. But Gandhiji was not satisfied by this event. He saw a lot of social and cultural backwardness over there. Then, with the help of his two followers, that is Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parekh, these followers, they helped Gandhiji in removing the social and cultural backwardness from Champaran. Gandhiji even called his son Devdas and his wife Mrs. Kasturba Gandhi so as to remove poverty and to improve the standard of living of Champaran people. Gandhiji opened 6 schools in different villages. Not only this, even Mrs. Kasturba Gandhi, she was teaching the lesson of sanitation and cleanliness to the ladies living in Champaran. Even Gandhiji told the people to fill the old latrine trenches, otherwise they would start smelling. And that time Gandhiji himself told that Champaran movement was the turning point in his life. This was the first time he realized that no outsider could order him in his own country. This is the most important question, and that is of 120 words. It usually comes in exam. So that is what was the turning point in Gandhiji's life. So Champaran movement was the turning point in Gandhiji's life. And then what happened at last? One English pacifist. What is pacifist? Pacifist is the person who is against the war. So one English pacifist who was the follower of Gandhiji, he volunteered his service to help the Indian people. Even the lawyers, they became happy and they wanted the help of this Englishman. But Gandhiji denied and said that in this unequal fight, they could not take the help of any outsider. The reason? was that he wanted to give the lesson of self-reliance to the people. He wanted to teach self-dependency to the people, and in this way, the lesson of self-reliance, Indian independence, and sharecropping justice, all the things are bound together. So children, here ends our chapter. Don't forget to see the key points. If you have crammed all these key points, then you will be able to cram up all the chapter. So students, thank you and have a nice day.